This is one of the easiest units in RTA to rune. The only problem with that is he's only actually usable in 20% of the matches. I suppose the flip side of that statement is you could just use him more often if you either pick Woosa yourself or ban Woosa out altogether, which is what they did here, but he kind of suffers from the same issue that Belinus and Rika and anything that does a lot of debuffs suffers from in a first pick Woosa meta is he needs openings to actually do his suppressive fire. If you guys don't know what he does, he's got the suppressive fire passive, which if his allies are attacked, he will lay down suppressive fire, which is multi-hits, which is nice. And then also continuous damage. You saw the second skill over there, which if he attacks someone with continuous damage, he actually decreases the cooldown on his second skill, which does the continuous damage as well. First skill is a multi-hit slow. Second skill is also a multi-hit, so he definitely gets added benefit from additional damage and artifacts with all these multi-hits. And you don't have to worry about crit rate. You don't have to worry about, I mean, if you want to build a crit damage version, but you really don't have to. You can just go for the damage through the continuous damage and the damage through the additional damage artifacts, and he could just get all of his damage through there. You don't have to worry about having super crazy fast speed either, which you kind of have to worry about in a lot of RTA matches for a lot of different units. But this guy, since he's just passively attacking things that are attacking your team, you don't have to worry about him getting natural turns. He's just going to get turns with his suppressive fire. So you don't have to worry about speed. You don't have to worry about crit rate. You don't have to worry about crit damage. We're already off to a great start. You just need to make sure he's tanky and give him good bruiser stats. This doesn't seem toxic at all. 3 of the best LD5s in the entire game just chilling, hanging out in C1 RTA. So here's the thing though, that's kind of a dumb team, and let me explain my logic behind why that's kind of a dumb team, that they're picking the Tianlang with the Ragdoll, with the Juno, with the Gianna, that actually he's countering himself with his picks. So that was a lot of damage. Cleave Kinky. Look at that. A lot of damage. Do they take out the Juno? They're going to take out the Juno. Stacks 2 extra soul. I am so happy that this crazy LD team goes down. But he basically, he picked against himself. He nerfed his own units in the process. So Tianlang decreases the effectiveness of anything that has an attack gauge increased skill, whether it's on the enemy's team or on your team as well. So Ragdoll, Gianna, Juno all decreased effectiveness by having the Tianlang with them. So he actually countered his own team in his picks. I mean, I absolutely love the kinky cleave there, and I think it's great to see 3 crazy LD5s going down. But the person, it was probably just a bot anyway. It probably doesn't even matter, it was just a bot. But they countered themselves by their own picks. So I know we talked about artifacts already. I don't know if we talked about runes. Despair Revenge, make him tanky, give him good resistance. He doesn't need speed, crit rate, crit damage. I mean, like, you want some speed on anything just in general, but he does, like, the same, similar to like the Fire Lich is, he'll steal turns basically, or an Artemil as well. Like, they'll steal turns. Like, these units that have that get turns as part of their passive, they don't need to go crazy with a whole lot of speed. So you don't have to worry as much about the speed. Just make him tanky, because he's going to get targeted a lot based on his passive. He's going to be revenging if, right here, as we see, if other units are targeted. So people are going to, I mean, this player apparently is not going to be targeting him, but generally you see a lot of players target him first. So you want to make him tanky, you want to give him some decent resistance, you want to give him like decreased damage and artifacts. Additional damage and artifacts is going to be fantastic on him. Accuracy on skill 2 and skill 3 is going to be awesome on him. Decreased damage from wind if you're fighting wind units with him. Water if you're fighting water units with him. Like, whatever you find yourself taking him against more often is the things that you want to focus on decreased damage from, because you're going to be taking him in like a bruiser style team, a turn 2 style team, not going aggressive cleave with him just in general. General rule of thumb for passive units that are tanky is you're not using them in aggressive teams. There are some exceptions to the rule, so I shouldn't say it's always a thing. But yeah, and then you're going to be drafting him at the very end of the draft phase. If you draft him too early, he's too easy to counter. Look at this. Look at all he has to do. Actually, Ethna's going to take care of this right now, isn't she? She's going to do her capture, and she's going to not actually capture anything, which is always great. He's got a stun. He's got some... as soon as he gets some more... I think he's going to have a skill 2 now, the Isillen. So as soon as he gets that skill 2 off, he should be good to go. But look how many dots, or I guess you can't see right now. Man, it's Feng Yan. Feng Yan, people have been ruining with high resistance a lot lately. So, yeah. He doesn't have that much additional damage. This one doesn't seem to have that much additional damage as we see from actually attacking things. So he would have done more damage if he had more additional damage. Like the most obvious statement in the world. So as we mentioned earlier, one way to deal with Woosa being so strong, Woosa and Riley being so strong against Isillen, is to just pick Woosa and Riley on your team. They don't have to worry about double immunity on the opponent's team because you have it on your team. So no matter what the opponent targets in this team, he's going to want to target something else because things are going to be revenging, things are going to be increasing the attack gauge. Diana's never going to go into... I shouldn't say never. Diana's not going to go into human form while the Antares is on the field. She's not even going to bother risking it because there's really no reason, because the Antares is going to have to hit something. If he hits Isillen, then the Diana's going to increase her turns or increase her attack gauge. If he hits the Diana, then Isillen is going to revenge, or Isillen is going to do his supportive fire. Do all this continuous damage. So right now, he's just taking so much continuous damage for Avenges that these things... Molong's going to go down. He's going to come back from the Nana. Antares is going to get another turn. But was Antares going to hit Diana? Diana's not going to go down. Isillen's just going to do more dots. And he realizes, like, the double immunity, double bruiser, they didn't have enough juice to actually get through that. This next match is very unorthodox. They're picking the Juno. They're picking... I mean, the Hegang is the thing that people pick. It's not that crazy. Chandra, they've got the Fire Bear. So this actually has some interesting synergy. Is they have the AoE Provoke with the Fire Bear. And they also have the Chandra Hug, which means that Isillen could just... Like, they could be forced to target the Fire Bear. And then Isillen just goes through and starts doing supportive fire on anything that hits the Fire Bear if it's provoked. I mean, he's not, of course, going to provoke right now because he's stunned. We'll see if he's on Violent Runes or what the situation is. But they go for the attacks into Chandra because they can't hit the Isillen because then the Chandra's going to revenge. They can't hit the Chandra because then the Isillen's going to revenge. So it's a very interesting combination. Also gets the stun there and the continuous damage. So that's why he's built for Despair, is when he gets all those free hits, he has the potential to stun the enemy, especially if they're doing some kind of crazy turn cycle combination. So he's really good against units that are trying to steal turns or not steal turns from you necessarily, but he's really good at basically stealing turns himself against teams that are going for crazy turn cycling, turn denial. Like Oracles, like Vertiheel, like Art Masters, anything like that. Like Gani Hathor, if he doesn't get slept by Gani Hathor. So very interesting. I like this kind of a different approach in terms of RTA comps. First pick Riley into a Nana Barbara. Opponent is picking a bunch of bruisers, right? So we know that based on this Isillen pick at the very end that they're banning Riley. So they could have just banned accordingly. The player on the left-hand side could have just banned accordingly, knowing that Riley was definitely getting banned out. Otherwise, why would you pick an Isillen into immunity? You know it's getting banned out. Also, you know that they're leaving the Kaki on the field, they're leaving the Nana on the field, or they're most likely to leave the Kaki, the Nana, and the Volantis on the field since they're AoE units, and you're going to get a lot of value from the Feng Yan and from the Isillen out of keeping those AoE units there. So you already knew kind of what was the ban at the pick ban phase. So, winds up actually not... The Isillen winds up not dying, which is why you want decreased damage from fire, water, wind, etc. on him, so that he doesn't... So that he doesn't die. Yeah, that's generally... You don't want units to die. That's generally the situation. So they just go for the AoE, knowing that they're going to get revenge by 2 different units. That would have been a scary call for me. I don't think I would have died. I don't think I would have made that same choice. I'd have been like, yeah, I'm gonna die if I do that, so I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, that's one of the reasons that you want as much tankiness as possible on Isillen, because he's going to be the target, since other things are going to... Since he's going to revenge when you, or do his supportive fire when you start attacking other things. So, I think at this point, I mean, they got to go for the Nana first. They got to kill the Nana first, because you don't want that Beast Rider to revive in beast form, because then you have to kill it twice versus the... versus the just killing Nana. So, yeah, that would be killing Nana just once again. So, at this point, as soon as they take the Nana down, or the Kaki down, does he Violent proc? Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, that's game. I mean, that was kind of game a few turns ago, but first pick Nyx. We're about to see some crazy stuff. Rika is... Did I say first pick Nyx? First pick Nyx, guys. crazy stuff. The amount of dots on their team. They do have the Riley there, which has immunity, has a cleanse, but it's not like ridiculous amount of immunity that you can't ever find a way through that wall of immunity or crazy cleanse, and also gets a big stun there. So I'm not sure that I would have gone for the AoE there, but to each is, because that's just guaranteeing the revenge, guaranteeing the supportive fire, and then guaranteeing the attack gauge increase on Diana. I feel like maybe with those units on the battlefield, I would have probably gone for skill 1, defense break, hope to get another turn, right? That's what I would. That's how I would have played the Kaki there. But that's just, to each their own, different styles of play, I suppose. So there's a lot of dots. Oh my god, the amount of dots on that Daphnis is absolutely ridiculous with this Nyx combo. That's overkill. Overkill is like the understatement of the year. That's like enough dots to take out like 2 giant speed 12 bosses. Crazy amount of dots. And then that's just insult to injury. Look, oh my god, that's ridiculous. Alright guys, anyway, that's it for this one. That's Isillen. He's actually an underrated unit. He's a nice unit that you can build fairly easily. Also, Skilps with 3 stars. I know not everyone has Isillen. He's an LD4, but for those that do and aren't using him, maybe consider building him because he's super easy. You just need tanky, speed, some accuracy. I already explained the whole build form and everything, and he just takes 3 stars to Sculpt, so super easy to Sculpt. You don't have to Delmon or anything, and he's not going to take your most premium runes. So there you go, guys. That's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you as always in the next one.